Hi, I'm Melanie. I'll be walking you through the basics of InContext 3D, where I'll guide you through uploading your model, setting up your project, and saving views. When you open InContext 3D for the first time, it will default to Phoenix, Arizona. You can close the sidebar toggling at the bottom, which explains the sidebar tools. The first time you launch the app, you'll also see an AI storage protection notice. This is just a reminder to tell you to save your render images. When you open InContext 3D in the future, it will always start where you left off. To find your site location, use the search tool. Type the project address or a city name. It will work just like Google. Every search will generate a tag. These can be modified in the future or they can be deleted from the project. Now that we have the correct city located, we can find our site to place our model. When you find the right spot, you can save a view. Now that we have located our site, let's create a project before uploading our model. Keep in mind, projects can be exported and imported for other users, so you can share all your work in Context 3D. Now that you've created a project, you can upload your model. InContext 3D requires a GLB file, which can be exported from SketchUp, Revit, or Rhino. Note the model import does not use the model's metadata. I'll click on the site to place the model. While the model is processing, I'd like to take a moment to point out the main menu. You have the ability to switch between a light and dark mode and various other tools that will be shown in future videos. Now that our model is ready, let's start with placement. I'm going to click to place the model. Now I have the ability to move it into place. If you notice, currently the model is unlocked. This allows me to move it and also rotate it. Once I get my model in close enough position, I will go ahead and save its location. I may want to move the model around a little bit more and get a closer perspective to place it. So I can unlock that model, and when I select it, then I have the ability to move it so I can place it more closely on the site. And I can save changes. And I can pan around it and make sure that it's in the correct location. I'm going to move it over just a little bit more here. I'm going to go ahead and unlock and go ahead and move that model a little farther over. Then I'll save my changes. Now that the model is placed, I'm going to create another view. Also, one thing to note about imported models is that InContext 3D does not use any model metadata, which means in the future you'll want to provide a descriptive prompt for materials of the building when you render. This model fits nicely into context because there's no existing building here, so we could place the model directly on grade. If there was an existing building, you could cut it out and use the cut tool in markups. Now that we have our building placed, let's create a balcony view. I'm going to select Gary over here. I'm going to get closer to the building. Now I can select the balcony and click where I'd like Gary to be standing. Now I have the ability to use my mouse with my right click to look around. And then I can also change my field of view under Environment. And I'll go ahead and save that view. I'm going to rename it. And there we go. Now we're ready to render this view. Now that I have a balcony view, let's get an interior view as well. I can use my arrow keys to move into the building. I can pan to adjust my view. I can adjust my field of view if I like. And I'm going to go ahead and save that view. These views will become very helpful once we begin using InContext 3D's AI rendering tool. In the following tutorials, we'll dive into that along with markups, GIS data, and producing AI rendered videos.